How we doing today, guys? It's Jesse with the Common Man, Corpus Christi. So I'm here to talk to you about some new information that came out from the Hill about America's own social credit score system. Now, this is something we've kind of been talking about in the past before. This relates directly back to the ESG scores and all of that kind of stuff. So, but before we get into that article, I just want to take you guys over to our little Teespring store. I guess it's the Common Man Corpus Christi. Just look that up. I'll put a link down in the description. But this is one of our new T-shirts. It's got the little logo on it, so you can sport your favorite local podcast on it. And then we've also got several other T-shirts that I've shown you guys in the past. So go over there and check that out and help support the channel. So, all right. So back to the article. All right. So let's just go ahead and start right off the top by reading some of this, and then we'll talk about it here in a minute. So, all right. Coming soon, America's own social credit score. This is by Christine Tate. The new domestic war on terror, kicked off by the riot on January 6th, has prompted several web giants to unveil predecessors to what effectively could become a soft social credit system by the end of this decade. Relying on an indirect hand from D.C., our social betters in corporate America will attempt to force the most profound change our society has ever seen during the internet era. China's social credit system is a combination of government and business surveillance that gives citizens a score that can restrict the ability of individuals to take actions, such as purchasing plane tickets, acquiring property, or taking loans, because of behaviors. Given the position of several major American companies, a similar system may be coming here sooner than you'd think. Last week, and this is where things really start to get scary, last week, PayPal announced a partnership with the left-wing Southern Poverty Law Center to investigate the role of white supremacists and propagators of anti-government rhetoric. Sound like anybody you know? Subjective labels that potentially could impact a large number of groups or people using their services. Seriously, does anybody really know any white supremacists? I really don't. I haven't met any in a long time. PayPal says the collected information will be shared with other financial firms and politicians. Oh, joy! Other financial firms and politicians. Yeah, that's wonderful. Facebook is taking similar measures, recently introducing messages that ask users to snitch on their potentially extremist friends, which, considering the platform's bias, seems mainly towards the political right. Do y'all remember that? I got those. It said you may have been exposed to extremist content. Seek help here. I look at it kind of at this point. If you are on a list during the Obama administration, you're probably doing something wrong with your life. At the same time, Facebook and Microsoft are working with several other web giants and the United Nations on a database to block potential extremist content. Oh, how joy! The actions of these major companies may seem logical in an internet riddled with scams and crime. After all, nobody would defend far-right militias or white supremacist groups using these platforms for their odious goals. However, the same issue with the government censorship exists with the corporate censorship. If there's a line, who draws it? Will the distinction between mundane politics and extremism be a "I'll know it when I see it" scenario, as former Supreme Court Justice Potter Stewart described obscenity? If so, will there be individuals able to unilaterally remove people's effective ability to use the internet? Could a Facebook employee equate Ben Shapiro with David Duke and remove his account? The implications of these crackdown efforts will be significantly more broad than prohibiting Donald Trump from tweeting at 3 a.m. Young people cannot effectively function in society if blocked from using Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Uber, Amazon, PayPal, Venmo, and other financial transaction systems. Some banking platforms already announced a ban on certain legal purchases, such as firearms. We heard about that a while back. The growth of such restrictions, that was some of the stuff that came out of New York. The growth of some of the restrictions, which will only accelerate with support from usually left-wing politicians, could create a system in which individuals who do not hold certain political views could be blocked from polite society, sorry, that's my Southern belle coming out, polite society, and left unable to make a living. The potential scope of the soft social credit system under construction is enormous. The same companies that can track your activities and give you corporate rewards for compliant behavior could utilize their powers to block transactions, add surcharges, or restrict your use of their product or use of products. At what point does free speech, be it against biological males playing in girls' sports, questioning vaccine side effects, or advocating for gun rights, make someone a target in... Oh, how long? Yeah. Yeah, advocating for gun rights makes someone a target in this new system. When does your debit card get canceled over old tweets? Your home loan denied from homeschooling, your kids, or your eBay account invalidated for a friend because a friend flagged you for posting a Gadsden flag. Some of that stuff, everybody thinks that's a joke. There was actually some of the National Guard guys pulled from the Washington D.C. security detail, all because they had Gadsden flags on their social media profiles. Federal fingerprints aren't directly on recent actions, yet the creation of a digital dollar would put an exclamation point on a new social credit score. This is something they've been talking about. If you listen to the Federal Reserve chairman, this is exactly one of the things she's talking about. She's talking about creating a digital dollar in order to compete with Bitcoin and all the rest of the cryptos. The creation of a digital dollar would put an exclamation point on a new social credit score. Working in conjunction with major tech companies, citizens not convicted of a crime could lose their ability to transact any business. That's a direct violation of your constitutional rights. I don't care if it's a business doing it or the government. You cannot be denied life, liberty, or property without due process. All right. In a time, decentralized forms of money, such as cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, may be the main means for dissidents to operate. Or the hemp industry, for that matter. God, I hate the banking industry. If the Fed and members of Congress are skeptical of crypto now, its use by political undesirables could lead to a furtive effort to severely restrict or ban these currencies. Until and unless there is an organized pushback, our future could track with those increasingly illiberal societies. Just like last week, the British government announced its own version of a health social credit system. China's system was announced only 7 years ago. Considering the growth of the algorithm and dependence on tech giants, the ability to track, censor, and eventually punish ordinary citizens will be mind-boggling by 2030. America's descent into a 21st century gilded age directed by titans isn't an inevitability. However, do you know anyone who would take a 5% Amazon coupon in exchange for a call to action? Or someone who would replace their Facebook profile picture to avoid being locked out? Saw a lot of that over the last few years. Peer pressure, trendy movements, and the ability to comply with new systems with the click of a mouse combine all of the worst elements of a dopamine-chasing Americans. As its growth in breadth and power, that may be the most surprising about our new social credit score system won't be collective fear of it, but rather quickly how most people fall in line. So I think all of what they're saying in there is very important. I think it's one of those situations where we talked about this with ESG, right? The whole you will own nothing and you will be happy thing. Well, this is part of it, okay? This is the ESG scores, except just like a lot of people predicted, this is the ESG scores turned on you. This is no longer about companies. This is now going to be about you. And PayPal. Come on, guys. The Southern Poverty Law Institute? I get you guys might be a little left-leaning, but holy crap, dude. Those guys are all the way out on the other side. Those guys are so far off the edge, it's not even funny. These guys had people like Glenn Beck and freaking David Barton listed on their like top 10 list of white supremacist, anti-government radical extremists. Glenn Beck's a freaking Mormon. He's like one of the nicest guys you've ever seen. And David Barton's just a history nerd with way too many collections of historical paperwork. Well, I wouldn't say way too many. He probably doesn't have enough. He probably needs more. So, yeah, go help him out. But, it's like, you don't understand. The people at the Southern Poverty Law Center that PayPal is hooking up with, these are literally like some of the worst leftist sycophants out there on the face of the planet. These are the people who turned the OK sign into a white supremacy sign after they believed a joke on, oh God, what was the name of that frickin', I can't remember, 4chan. This was a joke on 4chan as a white supremacist power symbol, and the Southern Poverty Law Center fell for the joke and ran with it. Now you got people at freaking sporting events, and there was some graduating kids from West Point that got in trouble for it. Okay, if you've never been in maintenance, there's a game we play, okay? Or like any kind of blue-collar job. You do this, you kind of put it below one of your waists or something like that, and if you get somebody to look at it, you get to kick them, okay? It's a stupid game. It's a bunch of guys that are blowing off steam. It's something dumb that we do, okay? That's probably what those military guys were doing, because it was the same damn dumb game we played in the military too, okay? That's how crazy these people are. They are so insane. They are so wrapped up in the spirit of the age mentality that has just hooked them and turned them into these cult-like sycophants, that these are not the kind of, you don't want these people in charge of anything. They're insane. So I don't know, guys. I wanted to let you all know that this was coming. This isn't a joke. Okay, this shit is here. Okay, this garbage is absolutely here. This isn't just some joke from the World Economic Forum, something that you can just pass off. Okay, say no to the Great Reset. Okay, it's fitting that I decided to pull this T-shirt out of the closet this morning. I hadn't even read this article yet, and I decided to put this T-shirt on anyway. Okay, kind of serendipitous. Say no to the Great Reset. Do not let social credit scores happen. Okay, that's what they use in China. The communists use it to track your every single move. What you view on social media, what you view on the internet, what you buy, where you go. If you've jaywalked, you literally have zero peace. Zero peace. You are constantly being monitored by those people. You can't even go into your own home and speak freely without you being worried it's going to affect your social credit score. That stops you from getting loans. That stops you from getting jobs. That stops you from purchasing items. You know? Well, hey, let's say the social credit score gets a hold of your doctor, gets a hold of your medical information, because you got to have that lovely pass to get everywhere now. Yeah, they're going to check out your BMI. And then you're going to go to McDonald's. And you're going to want to try to order a cheeseburger, or you're going to want to go get a 2-liter of soda from the gas station. Whoop, swipe that credit card. Oh, nope, sorry, your BMI's too high. You can't buy soda anymore, fatty. That's literally what this is coming down to. That's literally what this is going to end up like. And none of you want to pay attention to it. Wake up. This is out there. This is coming. You know, Bloomberg did this in New York with the freaking soda tax. Remember? Nothing bigger than a 32 ounce, or like the 32 ounces were going to be the ones that were taxed. That's what these authoritarian psychopaths want. They believe they're smarter than you. They're more well-educated than you. They're more highfalutin. They're more sophisticated, as the people at the Obama birthday party were over the weekend. Okay? These people look at you as scum. You are tools for their personal entertainment. Okay? None of this is in for your good interests. This is strictly here to control every single aspect of your life, to keep the rich in their fancy rich positions, and so that way none of the rest of us can ever get to that. They are going to eliminate the meritocracy in this country. The American dream is meritocracy. It's your ability to come in here, bust your ass, and get ahead, to be able to make something of your life for as equal to as hard a work as you want to do. Okay? And that's exactly what these people are trying to destroy. They are going to keep you in your place. They're going to create a permanent serf class, and you are going to do as what you're told. You'll own nothing, and you'll be happy. So wake up, boys and girls. This isn't a joke anymore. And until we stop this, it's going to get worse. Get yourself out of the system as far as you can. Do not be dependent on this system for anything that you absolutely do not have to be. That's the only way a lot of us are going to survive this. Spin ourselves out of the system. Because if we don't stand up and stop this, those of us that are alive now will never see freedom again. It'll be gone. So stop this before it gets that far. Think of your children. And even if you don't have kids, I know you've got empathy inside of you. Look at the rest of the world. Do you really want the people left on this planet dealing with a totalitarian social credit score system? You've got friends, right? They might outlive you. Do you want them to suffer through that even though you'll be dead and gone? Stop this stuff. Get out there. Tweet at PayPal. Email PayPal. Tell them what kind of monsters the Southern Poverty Law Institute are. Look at what happened with Ben & Jerry's. Look at what's going on with Subway, okay? They will listen to us. There is more of them than there is of us. Holler. Make your voice heard. Stand up. Say something. Get out. Get involved. Get active. Or you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. This is Jesse with The Common Man. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks, guys.